gentlemen, welcome aboard the Athletics Can't Wait Jets podcast, your nonstop shop for all things Jets. Now here are your hosts, Tim McMaster and Connor Hughes. Listen safely.
Can't wait.
Hey everyone, happy Thanksgiving Eve. It is Wednesday, November 24th. Thanks for watching or listening to the Can't Wait podcast. Tim McMaster here along with Connor Hughes and Marissa Morris in honor of Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And it was pointed out to me on Twitter that I left out Small Business Saturday. You can get all the Athletics, great writing for just $1 a month for 12 months. Go to theathletic.com/can't wait before midnight on Monday, the 29th. Lock in our very best price of the year. And I mean that. You won't see $1 a month again until next year at this time, if you're lucky. So take advantage of it this next week. Get all of Connor's writing down the stretch in the NFL season, into the offseason, all that. A year of the Athletic for $12 total. You can't beat it. It has been just over 24 hours since we were last with you on this podcast, but a lot has happened. Connor breaking the news on Tuesday afternoon that Zach Wilson is ready to go 100%. He'll start on Sunday. And Connor, it's a good thing because there is a lack of quarterbacks available with the New York Jets. QB2 and QB3, Joe Flacco and Mike White, both.
Oh, hold on. This is the joy of a live podcast, as we now have a guest.
Boy. What do we got?
It's fine. Thank you, Danielle. Appreciate it.
I thought it was going to be
in his cubby.
We've got the credential now for Houston, so we're good to go.
I thought it was going to be one of your fellow writers.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be DJ. I'll be honest with you, I was very ready for that to be DJ coming in here to say hi, and I actually made a comment to Costello before we started doing this because the last time we did a show, while I was at the facility, I just went in my car. So I popped in the car and stayed in there. But at that point, you got the questionable Wi-Fi. The phone starts overheating because the sun's baking down. So Costello recorded his podcast a couple rooms over. So I was like, you know what, I'm going to do the same thing here on this one and see if it works out. And, we got 30 seconds in before the knock at the door. But I think we're probably smooth sailing from here on out.
All right. Yeah. If you're watching on YouTube, you can get a great view of Connor's beautiful cubicle.
Oh, it's better than this. I'll give you guys.
I'm calling it a cubby.
Well, that's fair. That's fair. So you got like the in case there's like emergency TV behind me, I've got a polo and my dress shirt and a blazer. And then you come around here and you got the Jets logo. And then it's a little messy right now.
Wow, you got some picture frames? Wow.
Yeah, I got
fancy,
decorated it. Hey, see it? Yeah, it's real nice. It's my other office. We've got a picture, obviously, of we got Bree here. We got my godson Caden. And then pictures of, obviously, we got Lucy here, and then more of Bree, me, and Lucy. So we're all set up. And like all my mom too, for like Christmas for a couple of years in a row, kept getting me like office toys to add in here. So I've got like this random thing you play with to like add, like it's like magnetized and a lamp in here and all that stuff. So yeah, it's a fun little cubicle. I spend too much time here.
Very nice. Very nice. All right, back to the Jets. Because we said we were going to keep this podcast relatively short, but we're already doing a tour of Connor's cubicle.
Right.
Back to the Jets, though, Connor. I gave you credit. You broke the story.
Thank
but
you.
Talk about, just the situation with the COVID. Luckily, Zach Wilson avoided that, so the Jets have a quarterback on Sunday. But what's going on?
Yeah, kudos. The Jets finally had the football gods give him one in their favor because he's had obviously Zach hasn't been in the quarterback room, at least not as often as Mike White and Joe Flacco have, because he's been rehabbing his leg. So he's rehabbing. He's not in there all the time. And because he's not in there all the time, he avoided that close contact nonsense. And yeah, obviously the Jets had a quarterback come down with COVID. It's been out there already and reported. Mike White got COVID. Joe Flacco is unvaccinated, doesn't have COVID, but he was a close contact to Mike White, so he's out. The Jets are still, we talked to Robert Saleh a little bit ago, and the Jets are still holding out hope that there's the possibility that Joe Flacco could be ready to back up, although it's probably unlikely to back up Zach Wilson. I think he needs, because he's unvaccinated, if I'm not mistaken, and the Jets are supposed to get clarity for us on this momentarily, he needs 5 negative tests or something like that between the close contact and Sunday in order to play because he's unvaccinated. It's just a matter of, is he going to get those in time? But yeah, I mean, the positive of this whole thing is that Zach Wilson's back. It's probably going to be Josh Johnson backing him up because Mike White's obviously out because he tested positive for COVID-19. And then obviously Joe Flacco is a close contact. So, and because he's unvaccinated, he's dealing with a bunch of the ramifications of what he's got to deal with that. And, the one thing real quick before I know we're going to start talking about Zach here, but I did find it interesting that we talked, or Robert Saleh was asked in the press conference, basically if he had any regrets it all, or if he weighed the risks of trading for Joe Flacco, giving up a draft pick for a quarterback that they knew going in was unvaccinated. Because obviously when you're unvaccinated, there's a lot of things that you've got to deal with. And there's a lot of additional hurdles that you have to overcome if things like this happen. I mean, Aaron Rodgers tested positive for COVID-19. He tests positive for COVID-19. It's a mandatory, what is it, like 10-day absence? So it's taking him out a game and a half. If you're vaccinated, you get 2 negative tests and you can play. So Saleh told us that he doesn't believe there's any risk when you can get a quarterback like Joe Flacco. He said he called him a Super Bowl winning quarterback, a veteran quarterback, when you can get him for a 6th round pick, which the Jets believe end up making back the number of draft dates or something like that. There's no risk to it at all. But obviously the risk that you are seeing is what the Jets have right now, which is that they're probably going to go into this week with Josh Johnson backing up Zach Wilson because of COVID.
Before we get to Zach Wilson, the chat is very unhappy that you don't have a picture of me and Marissa in your cubicle.
You guys got to send me
Yeah.
one. Or we'll
That's
take
fair
one
enough.
at
What about the one from the golf course this summer? You should put that one up.
Oh yeah, that is a good. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
a good idea. I forgot about that. I forgot we have that picture together. Yeah, I'll do
I
that
think
one. I'll print that one out.
24 by 18 inches on the
Oh,
wall.
just replace the Jets logo here. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll replace the Jets logo with a picture of the 3 of us. Yeah, they'll love that.
All right. As far as Zach goes, obviously it's been a while since he's played. Last time he played, he wasn't very good, but we've talked about he gets to watch the offense be run well, and what can he learn from that? Now we're going to find out, right? I mean, I feel like the Jets season has been in limbo now for like a month since he got hurt. Yes, we get to see Elijah Moore have a great week. That's exciting for the future. But now it's like, okay, let's get back to building this team the way we want to see it built, see this quarterback develop, and we can start seeing that again this week.
Yeah, it's actually the lead to my column that I'm working on now, just to run. I think we're talking to Zach Wilson today. Obviously, we talked to Robert Saleh, so we'll have a column up on The Athletic momentarily or before the end of the day, just kind of summarizing all this. But my lead for that column was just, the Jets season is kind of back on track after that brief detour down, exit MW5. Mike White 5 is the exit. You like that? You like that, Marissa? I think that was pretty clever.
Good.
I wrote
like
pretty
that.
good.
It's
Creative.
pretty clever. Yeah, I kind
For
of like that.
$1 a month, you can get that sort of writing at the end.
Oh, there's another. There's a couple that I've been having some fun with lately. But yeah, I mean, you're right. The fact is that when you draft a quarterback as early as the Jets drafted a quarterback, the entire season becomes about that quarterback. Wins and losses don't matter. Honestly, I know people love Mike Carter and they love Elijah Moore, but they don't matter nearly as much as the quarterback, because when you have a quarterback in the NFL, you have everything. And when you draft a quarterback as early as the Jets drafted a quarterback in today's NFL, it's about getting him up to speed as quickly as you can get him up to speed, because then you can take advantage of the second most valuable aspect of having a young quarterback that's ready to be a franchise quarterback. And that's that you don't have to pay him money because he's on his, the wage scale, the rookie wage scale. So you've got a franchise quarterback on a rookie contract for 4, potentially 5 years. And that's extremely beneficial to a team. So it's all about getting that quarterback, the quarterback you draft, the quarterback you invest to a state where you can win with him while he's still on that rookie contract. And that's what this season was about when the year began: developing, assessing, and analyzing Zach Wilson and getting him to play some pretty good football and building up that hype and optimism heading into 2022. And now, after that brief detour of the injury and the Mike White sanity and thinking, oh man, did the Jets just find Tom Brady 2.0? You're back to your regularly scheduled programming, which is that Zach Wilson is back in this lineup. Zach Wilson is starting again. Zach Wilson received full medical clearance Monday night, Tuesday morning is when he received full medical clearance. So he's out there good to go. And lucky for him, he's not exactly playing the cream of the crop in competition with the Tennessee Titans, traveling to Houston to take on the Tennessee Titans. So this is, as you said, kind of a righting of the ship and getting the season back on track, because once again, all eyes are going to be focused on number 2 in the backfield and what he's doing week in and week out.
So what do you expect to see? I mean, there could be rust, obviously. It's been a while, but then again, the rust might just be that he's struggled and he's continuing to struggle. So how do you go about grading his performance this weekend?
Yeah, I mean, I think that that's a good one, because you have to take it into, and actually I asked this to Robert today, because I find it fascinating to watch how this one's going to plan out. Because look, I mean, the Jets believe that Zach is going to be a better quarterback now, having watched, because the one thing that, and we've talked about this ad nauseum on this podcast, where they wanted him to play boring football. They wanted him to take what the defense gave him. They wanted him to be first read, check it down, first read, check it down, first read, check it down. If you have to pull out the hero ball, use it as like a last resort. Use it as that gold pitch. Use it as the one that when all else fails, you can go to that and make some magic happen, but you can't rely on that magic. But when Zach played that hero ball style in high school and he played that hero ball style in college, and then he comes to the NFL, it's tough to just say, okay, I'm going to completely change the way I played football my entire life. But the Jets hope now, having sat back, having watched, having seen Mike White play boring football and have success, Josh Johnson play boring football and have success, Joe Flacco to some extent play boring football and have success, that now Zach Wilson can go out there with immensely more talent than Joe Flacco has right now, and more talent than Josh Johnson and Mike White have right now, and take that boring style of football and take it to the next level and do that and have success and start moving the football up and down the field. And Saleh said to us today that he feels like Zach was transitioning towards doing that the Jets saw him from that first game against the Panthers to the last game that he played against the New England Patriots. They felt like he was getting better week in and week out, day in and day out, and getting towards the point of breaking out. In fact, he said, I think Saleh's exact words were that he felt Zach Wilson was getting ready to, quote, pop off against the Bills or against the Patriots, and then he hurt his knee, and obviously we haven't seen him in a month. So you take that expectation, you take the fact that, okay, he sat and watched, he's seen how this offense is supposed to run, he's now fully healthy, you want to get him back in there. He was starting to play some really good football before the injury, and you expect him against the bad Texans team to go out there and play some really, really good football. Maybe not perfect, but really good football. But you say that, but then you also have to reel it back in, because at the end of the day, this is a kid that, yeah, he was starting to do some good things before the injury. He still wasn't doing great things. He still wasn't playing great football. He was still struggling. He was still 1-5 as a starter, completing, under 60% of his passes, had like a 63 quarterback rating, leading the league in interceptions at the time that he got hurt. You still have to take that into consideration, that that's the type of play he was playing before the injury. Then he misses an entire month with an injury. So I don't know if he's still 100%. I don't know if he's fully trusting it yet. He's going to have to take some hits and feel right to really get back to where he was. But even then, you're a young quarterback who doesn't have any experience, a rookie quarterback who now just has to go back on the field after missing a month of action and pick up right where he left off. So I think this is a good landing spot, which we talked about yesterday when we did the show, that this is probably the best landing spot that he could hope for, because it gets a little bit tougher against a decent Eagles defense and a good Saints defense in the coming weeks. It was going to be harder last week against the Miami Dolphins, even harder the week before against the Buffalo Bills. So this game against the Texans is the easier game for you to jump back in the deep end in, but you're still jumping back in the deep end after not doing anything, after not playing a game in a month. And for that reason, I think expectations should be tempered some. And I'll be completely honest with you guys. The one thing that I'm fascinated to see play out here, and this was the question that I asked Saleh, and he downplayed it. He said he's not concerned with it at all. But Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, Ryan Griffin, the offense, the defense, they've seen this offense work over the last 4 weeks. They've seen it work with absent the Bills game. They've seen it work with Mike White. They've seen it work with Josh Johnson. They saw it work with Joe Flacco. So they've seen this offense go out there, and in some cases against some decent teams, against the Bengals, Colts, and Dolphins, who are now won 3 straight and playing some okay football. But they've seen this offense that was so bewildered, so anemic, so inept at times those first 6 weeks look really, really good over the last 4 games. If Zach Wilson goes back out there at quarterback and Zach Wilson struggles and the offense struggles and they start to stutter and they start to have hiccups and they start to not look anything like they did the last 4 weeks when this was going well, how will the players react? Will it be like, maybe this isn't, what are we doing again? Why is it like, will there be any issues? And Saleh's not worried about it. He downplayed it. I'm sure when we talk to Zach Wilson later today, he'll downplay it and not say anything about it. But in my opinion, I think it's something worth watching here against the Texans, because again, these are players that want to have success. These are players that want to enjoy positive Sundays. And they have had that, at least offensively, the last 4 weeks. If it goes back and Zach Wilson goes out there and it's back to square one, I just could see it being a tough pill for some people to swallow.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you'd think they're smart enough to realize, like, hey, this is the plan. This is the way it has to go. But that doesn't necessarily, if your numbers aren't, if Elijah Moore suddenly not getting as many targets, like that's a completely different thing. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah,
All right, let's take a short.
Again,
go ahead.
I was going to say, though, like the one thing, too, is like Elijah Moore has erupted over the last month. He's playing the type of football, and we talked about this yesterday. He's playing the type of football that we saw in organized team activities, minicamp and training camp. The guy that developed all that reputation, the one who told me that he had written on his mirror the numbers from Justin Jefferson's rookie year to say, I want to replicate that. I want to be rookie of the year. Like, that's the kind of hype he was doing. And it was justified hype with how he was performing OTAs minicamp and before that injury in training camp. And he struggled and didn't make an impact those first few weeks. He was open at times. Zach missed him. He was open at times. Zach didn't go to him. Zach leaves the lineup and Elijah Moore stays in, and you bring in Mike White and you bring in Joe Flacco and you bring in Josh Johnson. And suddenly Elijah Moore starts looking like the player that developed all of that hype in the offseason. Right. And Salah said to us, Elijah Moore is not getting better because Zach's not getting out there. It's Elijah Moore's getting better because Elijah Moore's playing better. And I get that. But at this time, if Zach's back out and suddenly his numbers start dropping, Corey Davis's numbers start dropping. I mean, it's worth doing. It's something to watch. It's something to keep an eye on. And maybe it's much ado about nothing. Maybe it is a lot to do about a lot, but we'll see. And the only way you're going to see is when this game kicks off in Houston in a little bit.
All right, we need to get to our picks. We're going to talk a little bit about Thanksgiving food as well. Lots to go still, but we're going to take a short break here on the Can't Wait podcast.
We're all trying to eat better, but a healthy breakfast doesn't have to be boring. Magic Spoon has the amazing flavors you love without all the bad stuff. And it's an amazing midnight snack right before bed. Trust me, on my late night pods, it's great. There are 0 grams of sugar, 13 to 14 grams of protein, and only 4.5 grams of carbs in each serving, and only 140 calories a serving. It's keto-friendly, gluten-free, grain-free, soy-free, and low-carb. And you can build your very own custom box. Flavors include cocoa, fruity, frosted, peanut butter, blueberry, cinnamon, cookies and cream, and maple waffle. So if you want to try out some delicious Magic Spoon, go to magicspoon.com/wheat to grab a custom bundle of cereal and try it today. And be sure to use our promo code WHEAT at checkout to save $5 off your order. Magic Spoon is so confident in their product, it's backed with a 100% happiness guarantee. So if you don't like it for any reason, they'll refund your money, no questions asked. Remember, get your next delicious bowl of guilt-free cereal at magicspoon.com/wheat and use the code WHEAT to save $5 off. Thanks to Magic Spoon for sponsoring this episode. This podcast is brought to you by DirecTV Stream. Does this sound familiar? You've got one device that lets you catch the game live, another that lets you stream your favorite shows, you're watching sports highlights on your phone, and you've got your neighbor's best friends log in for the good stuff. Well, I want to tell you about a simple way to get all the entertainment you love without all the hassle. It's called DirecTV Stream, and it brings your live TV and on-demand favorites together like never before, so you can watch your favorite sports, movies, and shows all in one place. That means no more juggling remotes and no need to buy another device again. And the best part, there's no annual contract. So get rid of the clutter and the confusion and get your TV together with DirecTV Stream. You can learn more at directtv.com. Compatible device required. Content varies by package.
All right, back to football, a bigger picture football, Thanksgiving football. Let's talk about it. You get up in the morning, you eat your Magic Spoon, you get ready for turkey, you have some hors d'oeuvres, you have the turkey, all that stuff. But then there's the 3 football games. We're going to talk about them, break them down, make some picks here. We'll go one at a time. The first game of the day, 12:30 Eastern time, Bears at Lions. It's amazing to me after all these years, the tradition of the Lions playing on Thanksgiving, that the NFL was never like, they're always terrible. Why do we still have this team playing every year on Thanksgiving when they're just awful? Now, that said, they do tend to play kind of entertaining games on Thanksgiving, so maybe that's what it is. But Connor, it's the best spread, I guess, the closest spread of the 3 games, but Bears at Lions doesn't really get me excited. I think I will go Lions because I feel like there's always an advantage to being home on Thanksgiving where the other team doesn't really want to fully be there.
Yeah. Do we know, is Jared Goff playing or is he out?
It was potentially that he was going to actually play. So
okay.
I think yesterday there was like a 60% chance that he would play. But to be fully honest, I was driving back to Jersey all morning, so I've not seen.
Why were you tracking Lions injury reports? Was it for this?
Well, I record the Athletic Football Show. And if you want to hear our full preview with Sheil and Nate and Robert Mays, it's out this morning. So we had that discussion last night on the pod. So I think there's a chance that Jared Goff will play, or else it's Tim Boyle.
Okay,
but the line didn't change much with that news. So
these picks don't count. These picks don't count for our competition. So you don't need an asterisk. Just
true. Okay, because I was gonna say if Goff's in there, I kind of want to grab the Lions. Yeah. Like I really do. Like I did this once before when they played the Eagles, and I was like, I think this is the week where the Lions get their first win, and the Eagles won by like 40 points or something like that. But I think for this one, if Jared Goff plays, that's going to be Goff, Andy Dalton, right? Because isn't Justin Fields hurt? Or am I wrong on that?
Yeah, it's Dalton.
Yeah, so I think I'm going to go. I would go Jared Goff over Andy. Andy Dalton's going to go out there and kind of float around. Lions have played some close football games. I actually kind of like the money line a little bit. So for my one this week, I think I'm going to go, as long as Jared Goff is playing, I'm going to go with the Lions +3. And actually, in real life, I'm probably going to snag that money line and see if I can try to make back all the money I've lost so far this year.
Marissa, what do you think?
I think Matt Nagy is going to be coaching for his job for the rest of the year. So there was a lot of reports about that today. So I don't know. I'm going Bears with this one.
All right. Up next, 4:30 Eastern, Raiders at Cowboys, -7.5 Cowboys. I always just lean towards the home team on Thanksgiving in general, but this one especially, I wish it was 7 or 6.5. Yeah. The 7.5 is tricky, but I'll still go Cowboys.
I think you're going to see that change pretty quick because I'm actually looking at this on DraftKings, and the Cowboys -7.5 is +100. So it's almost even money there, and compared to -120 if you're taking the 7.5. If you're going off that spread, though, I'm 100% in on the Raiders. If the Cowboys don't have CeeDee Lamb, they're not going to have, like, CeeDee Lamb didn't practice yesterday. They're already out Amari Cooper. The Cowboys are the better team, but the Raiders tend to play teams tough. And I think that the Raiders are a little bit better than I expected them to be, considering all the drama that they've dealt with Gruden and that corner that they had to cut, and then Henry Ruggs and all that stuff. Like, I thought that would just be a team that just started spiraling out of control, but they're still playing some pretty tough football. I love the Raiders at 7.5 just because I think this could be a touchdown game, a 6-point game, a 5-point game. 7, I feel completely different. I'd probably go Dallas, but at 7.5, I think Dallas wins the game, but I think the Raiders can cover this one at +7.5, especially if CeeDee Lamb doesn't play.
Marissa, 7.5. That's the line on BetMGM. What do you think?
I think the Cowboys are going to win this game by a lot. I'm going Cowboys.
Bold. Okay. No question there. All right. And then the nightcap.
Done.
The Bills, the bumbling Bills right now.
Yeah, really.
No longer even in first place in the AFC East. Visiting the Saints. Saints at home +5.5.
Well, Connor's a big Saints fan if you listen to last week's episode. So
yeah, we
know which way he's going.
I'm going to go Saints. The Bills have burned me 2 weeks in a row, I think, but I'm going to go Saints anyway.
What is that spread?
5.5.
6. Oh, you have it 5.5. I got it at 6.
5.5 on BetMGM, Connor. So
down. Wow. So that means people are hammering the Saints right now.
Yep.
Wow.
Go ahead. Are you?
Me. Okay. I'm just going to go with the Bills just because I think that they're due for a breakout. I mean, there's only so many times I think Buffalo can get smacked in the face before they're like, all right, their playoff hopes aren't slipping away. But I mean, home field is pretty important here. Having a high seed is pretty important in the playoffs this year more than ever before. And I don't think the Bills want to run the risk of going on the road to Kansas City if the Chiefs keep rolling. I don't think they want to run the road to going on the road anywhere. I mean, they're a different team at home than they are on the road. I know the Saints are at home and things like that, but the Bills are kind of more of like that high-powered throwing offense now out of nowhere. I mean, they're not running the football. They want to throw it to Sanders. They want to throw it to Diggs. They want to throw it to Knox. They want to have Josh Allen, MVP candidate until the last couple of weeks, really air the ball out. And I think playing in a dome in New Orleans can help them out there. So I think this is going to be the get-right game for the Bills for a while, and you're going to see them take off. So if that's 5.5, I like it a lot. If it's 6, I like it a lot. I don't like if it gets to 7, 7.5, like that cow. Take Bills -5.
Well,
Marissa?
I hate to agree with Connor, but I think he's right with this one. Those words are very
hard
to leave my mouth, but yeah, I'm going to go Bills. I think after the past 2 of 3, they've not really, their offense has not really shown up, but I think we will see it tomorrow night.
I feel like we're all going to have, we can't all have great weeks because we went against each other, but because these don't count, I feel like our picks will be better in general. All right, we're going to step away one more time. We will be back with more Thanksgiving chatter.
This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Check out betterhelp.com/Jets. The best way to think about therapy is through a bunch of analogies. We get our cars tuned up to prevent bigger issues down the road. We get annual checkups and go to the gym to maintain physical wellness. We do chores regularly, well, some of us, probably not Connor, to avoid a giant mess at the house. Going to therapy is like all of these. It's routine maintenance for your mental and emotional wellness to prevent bigger issues down the road. Going to therapy doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It means you're investing in yourself to keep your mind healthy. BetterHelp is customized online therapy that offers video, phone, and even live chat sessions with your therapist, so you don't have to see anyone on camera if you don't want to. It's much more affordable than in-person therapy, and you can start communicating with your therapist in under 48 hours. Why invest in everything else and not your mind? This podcast is sponsored by BetterHelp, and Can't Wait listeners get 10% off the first month at betterhelp.com/jets. That's BetterHelp.com/jets.
Whether you've been in a relationship for years or are just getting started, having the confidence that comes from preparation means you're free to enjoy the moment when the moment comes. ED is more common than most people think. In fact, 52% of men between the ages of 40 and 70 will experience some form of ED. The benefits of ED treatment can help you reconnect with your partner. Roman Ready is confidence personified. It is the self-assurance that comes from knowing you've prepared yourself for the moment when intimacy arrives. Roman's system is completely confidential, totally discreet, no big logos or labels on the packaging. With Roman, you can get a free online evaluation and ongoing care for erectile dysfunction, all from the comfort and privacy of your home. A U.S. licensed healthcare professional will work with you to find the best treatment plan. If medication's appropriate, it ships to you free with 2-day shipping. The whole process, it's straightforward, it's convenient, and it's discreet. Getting started is simple. Just go to GetRoman.com/wait and complete an online visit. Take care of your ED without leaving your home. Complete an online visit today to connect with a U.S. licensed healthcare professional and to take care of it. Go to GetRoman.com/wait today, and if you're prescribed, get $15 off your first month of ED treatment. Make sure you're ready to have confidence and control this fall. Roman Ready. All right, it is the busiest travel day of the year right now. I think Wednesday. Marissa dodged all that traffic by leaving Cleveland before the sun came up this morning. She is. I'm not going anywhere because of the baby, so I'm good. And Connor has to worry about football season and traveling with the Jets. So I think we're all in good shape as far as travel goes. But Thanksgiving is, I think, for all of our families, a big holiday. It's not for everyone, but the food is the big thing, right? And so I figure we toss it around, like favorite food on the table for Thanksgiving. I don't know if you can pick one, Connor, but you are the man with the press box food power ranking. So what do you think on Thanksgiving? What's number one?
My favorite's still like my mom's homemade stuffing, and she does it like when it's baked, so it's in like the baking pan, and you kind of cut it up like a piece of cake. So my favorite is my mom's homemade stuffing. Give me the mashed potatoes and then sweet potatoes with like the brown sugar pecan crust. Those
do you
three
put the
like
marshmallows on that?
No,
so
we don't.
We do the sweet potatoes with the brown sugar and then marshmallows melted on top.
I could do that because I love marshmallows. My mom and sisters don't like marshmallows though, so we don't do it. And so we're going there for that. But what I am doing this year, again, so I did it for Easter last year because we're not big ham people. So we just basically do Thanksgiving again for Easter.
See, I'm the opposite. I would rather a ham than the turkey. 100%. I will have like a little piece of turkey tomorrow, and I will have a bigger piece of ham. I like the ham.
Really? We don't do that. But I'm doing a deep fried turkey. So the deep fryer came in the mail yesterday. Got my many quarts it's a 30-quart deep fryer. So I'm setting that up outside and I'm going to deep fry a turkey. And I'm very, very excited for that. My buddy Rodney does it all the time. He's a really good cook. He does smoking, grilling, and deep frying. And he's giving me all the instructions, and so I'm ready. Injecting the turkey with like a butter garlic juice and we're gonna rock and roll. So I'm very, very excited to do the deep fried turkey again.
So if Connor ends up on the IR and cannot cover
won't be COVID related.
Turkey accident.
It'll be oil burns.
I'm cooking too. My wife's mom and dad are coming up. It would have been that side of the family's turn for Thanksgiving, so they came up to spend the first Thanksgiving with Ailey here. I'll be cooking the turkey, so we'll see how that goes. I did it 2 years ago. It came out good, so we'll see if I can rekindle that. My favorite food, though, like you, Connor, it's stuffing, but it's actually it's not my mom's. It's my godmother's, which I didn't even experience until when I was living in Pennsylvania. That's where she lives. And I would go to her house on Thanksgiving because I didn't have any other family. But it's a bread stuffing, but it has sausage in it. So it's like there's sausage and onion and bread and all the seasoning. My mom's.
Yeah.
It's
like
literally
cake,
like a meal. Like I could eat I could just eat that as a meal. Like
same thing. That's ours.
Day.
Ours has the sausage and the onions and all that, the seasoning all in with the bread. Yeah, but it's baked, right? So it's not in the turkey's butt. It's like baked.
No, and you should not do that, I don't think, because that's how Michael got salmonella.
Yeah, don't have they say it says that if you Google like stuffing and turkey, it's like no.
Yeah. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Yes. Michael's whole family and extended family got very, very sick one year because they cooked it in the raw turkey and Yeah, it did not. He's still a little scarred from Thanksgiving. I mean, he'll still eat his turkey and mashed potatoes and everything, He is an offensive lineman, but that did really
Does
hurt
he get his own turkey or ham or?
So he will have practice tomorrow and the team gives him a nice meal
Oh,
and all of
right.
that.
He's not with you. Yeah, you're
Yeah.
away.
Oh, so
and
you're not with
then-
him?
No,
Yeah.
I'm home. He wanted me to come home. My mom hosts Thanksgiving and I have like 50 of my cousins and their kids coming. So I will be seeing him on Sunday at the Baltimore. The Browns are playing the Ravens. So
Oh, you're just
I'm going to
driving
drive down for that. Yeah. So, and then next
Ooh,
week.
are you going down to
week.
Baltimore and then driving to Cleveland?
No, next week's his bye week. So I am in Jersey
Oh, okay,
for
cool.
the week. Yeah.
Gotcha, okay.
But he wanted me to come home because he has stuff half the day. And then our gracious friends on the team that are having a little dinner are going to host him at night. So
Cool.
shout out to my girls, Mary and Emily, for having him do that.
Last names?
Emily is Emily Forbes and Mary is Blake Hance's girlfriend. So
Gotcha.
they're my sweet friends on the team. And
Connor begging for name drops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to hear. I got to know who Michael's hanging out with.
Offensive lineman.
All right, Marissa,
But-
what's your favorite Thanksgiving food?
I'm all mashed
Gluten.
potatoes. Like, yeah. So obviously,
No gluten.
having celiac, there's a lot of things I can eat on Thanksgiving. And, I can't obviously have a biscuit. Can't really have stuffing because that's bread. But
So sad.
you can make gluten-free stuffing, but mashed potatoes, corn. My aunt makes this broccoli salad that has like bacon and
Oh, I have
cheddar
one more.
cheese.
I have one more. I forgot about
That's
that.
really good. And then my mom went to the gluten-free bakery for me and got me a gluten-free apple pie, and so it's just a little different than what everyone else has, but it's still very good. So I'm excited.
Bree makes Bree's working Thanksgiving, so we're also now married, so we have to figure out how we're doing this splitting up. So like we're hosting my mom and sisters on Christmas Day, but Christmas Eve we're not going to my family's anymore. We're going to like her family's because her mom's a nurse as well, so she's home. But Bree unfortunately is not going to be a part of Thanksgiving because she's working at CHOP. But
Shout out to
usually
all the
makes-
doctors and nurses and healthcare
Yes,
people that
absolutely.
miss the holidays to take care of everybody.
Yeah. So she makes this broccoli and Velveeta. It's like broccoli, then it's topped with like a Velveeta cheese, like mixed inside with graham cracker crust on the top. It is awesome. And she always makes it like I like it. So I'm not a huge cheese person. So if there's too much cheese, I gag. Like it needs to be like even like sandwiches, like thin layer of cheese, eggs, thinnest layer of cheese. It can't be like you bite into this gob of cheese. It makes me want to throw up. So Brie makes it with the perfect amount of Velveeta, even though it's not really real cheese, but the perfect amount of Velveeta where it's not gaggy. It's more broccoli with a touch of Velveeta in it's awesome. It's awesome. I'm going to miss her.
Oh, well, shout out to all those working on Thanksgiving. We appreciate everybody that does all the hard stuff so we can all enjoy the holidays with our family. For sure.
All right. I think that does it for the Jets talk, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Connor, get moving. I did want to say a shout out as we say goodbye to the best dog in the world.
Aw.
If you want to bring up
Aw.
the picture.
I got it.
Rufy, we say goodbye to him on Monday.
Aw.
He was the best. We'll leave it at that. Talk to you next time on Can't Wait.